Most skaters think faster wheels actually make them faster. That's not true. If you choose the wrong wheels, you might actually be losing speed. These all look like wheels, but what actually happens inside of them completely changes on how they go. In over 10 years as a professional speed skater, I've tested wheels at world championships, in hot conditions, in wet conditions, on track, road, wherever it is, you name it, indoor, even marathons. And today I want to show you everything about wheels. I'm Oliver Gropp and I placed 4th at World Championships and 4th at World Games. And this is my complete inline skating wheels masterclass. In this video we'll cover all you need to know about wheels, from the hardness, from the hop to the inner band, from grip versus speed, from temperature changes, from the urethane, from where and how to choose the perfect wheel for you. Let's start with the wheel size. Inline wheels come in 80mm, 84, 90, 100, 110 and 125mm wheels. Most fitness skaters use 80 to 84mm wheels. Why? Because smaller wheels feel more stable, are easier to turn, are easier to stop, and keep you lower on the ground. Kids usually use 90mm to 100mm wheels. This gives more momentum, more roll, while still keeping control. Adults usually use 110 and 125mm wheels because bigger wheels need more strength, roll longer, lose less momentum, and absorb rough surfaces better. And here's something a lot of skaters actually don't know. In international competition, World Skate actually regulates wheel size. At a World Championship, the maximum wheel size on the track is 110mm, so this one, and in the marathon it's 125mm. And at World Championships, World Skate actually physically checks the wheels. If your wheels are oversized, you might not race. Now let's get into real science. A modern inline speed skating wheel is basically a tuned spring system, and it usually has 3 structural parts. We have the outside, the urethane, then we have the inner band and the hub. This outer layer is what touches the road. Almost all quality wheels use polyurethane, also called PU. But here's an important part. PU actually almost says nothing, because racing urethane is specifically formulated for high rebound, meaning it actually returns energy quickly, and lower hysteresis, meaning that less energy gets lost at heat. And we have controlled grip, depending on asphalt, track surface, and temperature changes. That's why 2 wheels marked as 85A could potentially feel completely different, because the chemistry matters more than numbers. Now, let's talk about the hardness of the wheel. This here is a gauge, or also known as a durometer. It measures how hard a wheel actually is. And yes, I measure all my wheels before every single race, because I want to make sure that for the race I'm attending, I want to have all my wheels exactly the same hardness and not have anything else mixed in there that is not what it's supposed to be. We have here softer wheels, which usually comes in a range of 83 to 84A. Softer wheels give more grip, more comfort, and more control. Then we have a medium wheel, which usually ranges from 85 to 86A, and we have a harder wheel that ranges from 87 to 88A. Harder wheels give more roll, less deformation, and a longer life. But here's the mistake that a lot of skaters make. They think harder is faster. That's not always true, because if you lose grip, you lose power, and you slow down. The hub. This is the hub, also called the core of the wheel. Its job is holding bearings, supporting stiffness, and transferring power. Most hubs are made of glass fiber reinforced nylon, engineering plastics, nylon blends, and sometimes aluminium. And some premiums have carbon-filled composite. Why? Because stiffer hubs have less flex, better power transfer, and a more consistent performance. Now, the inner band. This is where wheels become really interesting. This in here is the inner band of the wheel, also called flex band, energy ring, or suspension band. And its job is to act like a secondary suspension system. What does it do? First, it controls flex. Without it, a wheel can feel, some would call it dead, harsh, unstable. The band controls vertical compression, lateral flex, and the rebound timing. That's why racing wheels, compared to basic standard wheels, feel way more alive. Second, it controls grip versus speed. A softer band increases, obviously, grip and improves cornering. A stiffer band, on the other hand, can feel a little bit more direct and has an improved response for sprint racing. And not all bands are the same or even look the same. Here, on this wheel, you have a typical I-shaped band. Think of it as a straight column. Usually it feels sharper, stiffer, and it has a faster response. Then here, you have a T-shaped band. A flange usually feels a bit smoother, more forgiving, and potentially a little bit more grip. Think it's like a mini suspension. How wheels are made. Companies build wheels differently. There's the dual pour, where companies first pour the inner band and then the outer urethane over top of it. And then you have the insert method. Others build the band first, then push it onto the hub, and then pour the urethane to complete the wheel. Different engineering gives you a different feel. Why speed wheels usually feel softer? Now here's something that surprises a lot of skaters. Fitness wheels often feel harder because fitness wheels are designed for durability, casual skating, and a long lifespan. Speed wheels, on the other hand, are designed for grip, rebound, cornering, and acceleration. So speed wheels often feel softer, even if the hardness numbers look similar. Think about it as a Formula 1 car versus a regular family wagon. The tires of an F1 car usually last a third of their race distance, which is only like 50 to 100 kilometers. But a regular van can drive those tires for a couple of years in a row, because the Formula 1 tires are made for high performance and not long lasting. And yes, speed wheels wear out a lot faster. Why? Because they usually have a lot softer compounds. Think about it that way. Softer compounds means more grip equals more friction, and it has a higher rebound chemistry. It gives you a better speed, but has less lifespan. Then there's more aggressive skating. Speed skaters push harder, lean more, and generate a lot more heat. Also, bigger wheels, like 110, 125 millimeter wheels, have more leverage and create more stress. And if you skate on rough asphalt, you can burn through wheels very quickly. Here's a real-world comparison. A fitness wheel, for example, says, I'll need to survive 1,000 kilometers, where a speed wheel says, I need to win this sprint. Now to wheel storage. Here's a pro tip that a lot of skaters miss. Now here's something most skaters completely ignore. How your wheels are stored actually matters. Most skaters spend a lot of money on high-end wheels, but then throw them just in the back of their car, next to a window, keep them outside on the balcony, and over time, that can actually damage your wheels. One of the biggest enemies of polyurethane is UV light. If your wheels sit in direct sunlight for too long, you may notice the wheels start turning yellow, like this one. The urethane loses its original color, and sometimes the material becomes harder and stiffer. And over a longer period, the urethane of the wheel can actually become very brittle, or what a lot of skaters call, they get crystallized. What does that mean? Instead of feeling elastic, grippy, or alive, the wheel starts feeling dead, stiff, and a lot less responsive. And obviously, that's the very last thing you want for an expensive race wheel. Temperature matters too. Extreme temperature changes also affects wheel aging. If your wheels constantly go from very cold to very hot, the polyurethane contracts and expands over time, and that can slowly affect performance. So how should you store your wheels? Very simple. Keep them away from UV light, store them in a closed box or drawer, keep them in a dry environment, avoid garages with huge temperature changes, and avoid leaving them in the cars for days. That's not good for your wheels. My personal recommendation, I like to store my wheels in a box, away from sunlight, in a room with stable temperature conditions. Not too cold, not too hot. Around 20 to 22 degrees room temperature. Because if you take care of your wheels will thank you and will take care of your speed. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about buying fast wheels, it's about keeping them fast as well. And here's the biggest truth. One important thing, wheels won't fix bad technique. They can support you, but technique always matters more. There is no perfect wheel out there. There's only the right wheel for you. For your weight, for your height, for the way you skate, and for your race conditions. So tell me, what wheels do you skate on? And I might be able to help you. I'll see you on track. And remember, anyone can buy fast wheels, but understanding them is what makes you faster.